Are there any comments on the minutes? Motion to approve?
I'll
One
motion.
of you has to move, I can't.
I'll motion.
Second, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Right.
It always feels self-serving to move when you've done the minutes.
Yeah. Or a second for that matter. Well, the first item, other than minutes, is the center school update. And I suspect most of you have heard that there were no bidders on the feasibility study. So, which is, I can't say I was totally surprised, but it's very disappointing. So I sent around a memo, which is kind of where I think things are. The committee hasn't met. Its committee was never super, this is the center school committee, never super functional to begin with. And I'm afraid it's less so now, but it's complicated because it's Jenny Merriam's busy season to referee, and everybody's traveling and Easter guests and everything. So we just haven't been able to get a quorum.
Summarize your memo then? Shall I note that or not?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna, it's, for some reason this isn't charging. Hang on.
What kinds of places would do a feasibility study?
Architectural firms generally, in this case. Shoot. Let me low power mode. So here we go. So I think that one aspect is to go back to this. It might be because firms are busy, and I know when we were getting estimates, people like Joan Switz had said, we're just swamped. I don't think we could bid. And I'm thinking that with the way the economy is looking, that might not be true 6 months from now. So it may be that there wasn't enough money. I think that's quite likely. Inflation has been fairly high since we got the estimate. So one option is to go to get some more estimates and go back to the CPC at CPA and see if we can get some more money. And we'll pursue that. And the other one, I think, is to try to pursue historic preservation tax credits. And I'll be working on that.
How does that help with the feasibility study, though?
I'm sorry?
How does that help achieve someone, getting someone to do a feasibility study?
They're separate.
Oh, that's what I thought. Okay.
The feasibility study is kind of how the building would be used. We still have the problem of getting it stabilized on the exterior, no matter how it's used. And the tax credits would be a funding source for that. So I think they can be pursued simultaneously. The tax credits are awarded in rounds. The Mass Historical Commission has a certain pocket of money through 2030, I think. And they dole out credits. I guess they dole out credits 3 times a year, and it can take more than one round of application to rise to the top. I think for the Blue School, it took him 4 or 5 rounds, I think. But anyway, we can get the process started. And when we were turned down for the grant, it doesn't appear that any of those state grants are very promising, and in all honesty, I don't know how much money the state's gonna have to dole out grant money next year anyway, so things are, it's not a good, it's just, I feel like we're caught in this tariff bind. Everything seems so uncertain right now. So that's where things stand. I think both of those, the feasibility study or at least the CPA funding and the grants will go through the historical commission, but not yet. So I wish it were a happier story. Seems to be a problem with all sorts of grants these days.
Mhm.
It's only gonna get worse.
Yeah. So any questions, any other questions?
I just had a quick question about, so you said you think there needs to be more money because of inflation. Are you talking about there needs to be more money for the feasibility study?
Yeah,
And it's currently set at like 50K?
no, it was only 28.
Oh, okay. All right. That's why I was confused. I thought 50K is
We,
money. Okay.
we got the National Preservation Grant, National Trust Grant. I really didn't expect to get that. That was the biggest they would give out was 15,000, and they needed 100% match. And so we got a $25,000 estimate from Joan Switzer, kind of informally.
Oh, I see.
And I added 10% contingency, and that came out at 28,000, which didn't look, if we asked for 15,000, it would have looked pretty contrived, I thought.
Mhm.
And we got the whole 14,000. I was flabbergasted, but I think what the pollinator grant is something more like 60 or 70,000. In retrospect, in comparison, there's a lot of similarity there in the two, although you get to planning, but get strategizing and everything, it just seemed a big monetary disparity. So it could be, I'm assuming people were busy, it wasn't enough money, and for some people it's just too small a project, so.
That's helpful.
That's all I have on that. The about Whately.
I meant
Please.
to send you some wording, and I'm sorry I didn't get to it, but I will do it hopefully in the next couple days and send it in to you guys.
Okay, and I was gonna add links and I was waiting. You gave me an excuse not to do that, so.
You were gonna what? You're gonna what?
We talked about adding some links
Oh,
for,
links. I didn't understand the
Yeah.
word.
so. So you gave me an excuse to procrastinate, so thank you on that. So. Anything else? The historical commission email is not functioning at the moment. Did I send you an email to that effect? So the one that's historicalcommission@whately.org doesn't seem to come through. And we didn't discover it till I didn't get notice about the party for Amy Schrader. And I asked Jess, and she said, oh, but you should have had this email. So then we discovered that I wasn't getting the emails. And I try to test, and if I send something, it doesn't go through either. So if you hear anything about that, I assume Pete can fix it when he gets back. He was on vacation last week. So.
And do
And-
you check that email? How does it work?
How does it work?
Yeah, like is it forwarded or is it, do you have to go check it?
I have to go look at it. It's on office.com. And I log in there, and the last email that came through was on April 4th, but it's not a heavily trafficked email address, fortunately. But so I guess the other item of news is that the library roof CPA application will be voted on at special town meeting along with the other application, which was to expand the dock at the Tri-Town Beach. So we got those moved to the special town meeting so they could get started earlier.
When is that special town meeting?
The 30th. There are exactly 3 warrant items, 2 of them being those CPA things. I don't think you need to hurry down there to vote. I don't think there'll be much controversy. If you feel like it, I'm sure they'd be happy to see you. I'll go, but I haven't sensed any opposition to either of those. I mean,
No, or any attention?
no. Well, they're so small. I mean, one is 16,000 and one is 8,000. So CPA fund is accumulating quite a bit of money. So we haven't had many big requests lately, and we're getting over $200,000 a year now. So. So well, it's a dynamic meeting here this time. Anything else? I guess a short meeting is good,
All righty.
especially for the minute taker.
Yeah, I lucked out.
Next meeting, next meeting is May. What? Who's got a calendar?
Hold on, I'm checking it.
May 19? Is that right?
That sounds right.
Sounds
I
right.
won't be available for that one. I can tell you right now.
Do we want to reschedule? The following Monday is Memorial Day.
I think you can probably, if you know, as long as you have Ashley too, you can carry on without me.
You actually only need 3, but
Okay.
Um,
Sorry, I'll be,
well, no, but it's, you know,
I
if
hope
there's
you're somewhere
nothing,
good.
given the huge volume of business we have, maybe we don't need it anyway. Should we just leave it as a tentative meeting and
okay.
Leave it as a what?
tentative?
Oh, okay.
I think we could probably approve that about Whately thing. Since we've discussed it quite thoroughly, I don't think we need to do that at a meeting. Approve it by email. Okay,
Sounds good.
Okay,
Sounds good.
enjoy the
thanks,
rest of the day.
guys.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.